Hi guys, it's Morgan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about episodes 2 and 3 of season 2 of Loki. Now, if you haven't seen the episodes, there will be spoilers in this review, so stop watching if you don't want to be spoiled. So, here's my review for episodes 2 and 3 of season 2 of Loki. It was funny when Hunter X5 was pretending to be an actor named Brad Wolf. At first, I wasn't sure if it really was Hunter X5 or if it was one of his variants. But it was Hunter X5. And even though he tried to get away, Loki was able to catch him, and he became a prisoner at the TVA so they could get him to tell them where Sylvie was. After the end of season 1, I was wondering where Renslayer was going. And in this episode, Casey told Loki, Mobius, and Hunter B-15 that Miss Minutes was working with Renslayer, which explained why Miss Minutes hadn't been responding to them. And Loki also told Mobius, Hunter B-15, and Casey that while he was in the past, he heard a recording of a conversation between Renslayer and He Who Remains, and it made Loki realize that they were partners. And while it would have been a good idea if Loki told them about this in the last episode, it was good that he finally told them. I didn't like seeing Hunter X5 try to make Loki upset by telling him that he was just trying to make up for all the terrible things that he's done, and that Loki was better as a villain. And even though Loki tried to use that to get Hunter X5 to tell him where Sylvie was, it didn't work. I also want to find out who Mobius really is, but I also didn't like that Hunter X5 was trying to make Mobius upset about the fact that he doesn't know who he really is. I didn't blame Mobius for being upset, but I thought it was funny that in order to cheer him up, Loki and Mobius had pie. I understood that Loki wanted to find out where Sylvie was, but it was pretty extreme that he decided to torture Hunter X5 so that he would tell Loki where Sylvie was. And even though it took a while, Hunter X5 told him. It was also really sweet to see how big a fan Casey was of OB when he found out that OB wrote the TVA guidebook. And it was really cute when Casey asked OB to sign his copy. But I didn't blame Hunter B15 for interrupting them, since before Casey found out that OB wrote the TVA guidebook, OB was screaming about how they were all going to die. So that's a little bit more important than signing the book. It was really emotional seeing Loki and Sylvie's reaction to seeing each other again. And when Loki told Sylvie about seeing her in the future TVA, it made sense that Sylvie didn't know why Loki saw her. And even though she said that she never planned to go back to the TVA, it was obvious that she would. It was also pretty funny to see the conversation between Mobius and Hunter X5 while they were waiting for Loki and Sylvie to finish talking. But then Hunter X5 revealed that General Dox was never after Sylvie. She wanted to prune all of the new timelines, and even though they were able to stop her, it was really sad to see everyone's reaction to the timelines that got pruned. I didn't blame Sylvie for being upset about the timelines being pruned and for blaming the TVA. But even though Sylvie went back to her new life, it's obvious that she's going to end up helping Loki. And since Casey was able to trace where Renslayer was, I couldn't wait to see what she was up to. Since He Who Remains was dead, it made sense that Miss Minutes told Renslayer to drop a package through Victor Timely's window, who's a variant of He Who Remains, and the package was a book about the TVA. It's clear that Miss Minutes is trying to get the TVA back to what it was by having one of He Who Remains' variants control it. I thought it was funny when Loki and Mobius were looking for Miss Minutes and they heard a little boy selling newspapers talking about a ghost clock, which was a pretty good lead. This episode also had the after credit scene from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, when Loki and Mobius see Victor, and Loki tells Mobius that Victor is one of He Who Remains' variants. I also didn't blame Loki for thinking it wasn't a good idea when Mobius said that they had to bring Victor to the TVA. But to be fair, Mobius was right when he told Loki that Renslayer and Miss Minutes were never going to help them. So having a variant of He Who Remains is the next best thing. I didn't blame Sylvie for wanting to kill Victor. After everything the TVA's put her through, it's understandable that she doesn't want Victor to go to the TVA. But I was hoping that Loki would be able to convince Sylvie not to kill Victor. And even though Sylvie didn't kill him, she was still mad at Loki. It was also pretty funny to see how jealous Miss Minutes was while she was watching Renslayer talk to Victor. But after Renslayer mentioned having a partnership with Victor, he threw her overboard, which Miss Minutes was very happy about. I didn't blame Victor for getting rid of Miss Minutes, especially since she was clearly making him uncomfortable when she was talking about wanting him to make her a body. But then Renslayer showed up and was about to kill Victor. But then Loki and Mobius showed up and tried to talk her out of it. And then Sylvie showed up and she was about to kill Victor. But Victor convinced her not to. So hopefully Sylvie doesn't end up regretting that. It was also a surprise that instead of killing Renslayer, Sylvie sent her to the end of time, and Renslayer saw He Who Remains' corpse, and Miss Minutes told Renslayer that she knows a secret about Renslayer that will make Renslayer angry. So the question is, what is that secret? Thanks for watching, guys! If you saw the episodes, let me know in the comments what you thought about them. And if you want to see any of my previous Loki reviews, check out the playlist. And if you want to see any of my future Loki reviews or any of my other future videos, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.